TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. We're here live. I got my guy, Richardson Hitchins. We here showing support for his up-and-coming event on June 14th. He gonna be facing Kambosos. Kambosos is a competitor. You can't take enough away from him, but I believe Africa's gonna be victorious. So let me ask you a few questions. Let me start out. You got the fight coming up June 14th. Where you from? Where can people who don't know, tell them where you're from?
I'm from a place in Brooklyn called Crown Heights. It's in New York, a lot of people, like where we from, we don't claim like the neighborhood. We claim our block. So I'm from President and Utica versus, I think between Rochester and Utica. So yeah, that's where I'm from. It's called President Street. We call it Hilltop. So yeah, I'm just a kid from Brooklyn. Okay.
So now you got into boxing. At what age did you start boxing?
I started boxing at I want to say 12 years old, 12, 13. Mm-hmm. And I ain't really care for it on some I want to box.
Yeah.
I seen Floyd. I was a boxing. I was a Floyd fan. I wasn't a boxing fan. I was just how he talk so much and still back it up.
Yeah.
So that was intriguing to me. But I always wanted to learn how to fight in the streets. Cause where I'm from, I was always street fighting. Anybody that grew up in school with me knew I always loved to fight. So I was just if I learn this, it's over. I'm going to school beating everybody up. But when I walked into the gym, I was training with a coach, Coach Sosa, and he was basically you got to come to the gym every day, or I ain't training you. But he would come to the gym on a Thursday, don't be there on a Friday. So now I was forced to come every day. I couldn't figure his schedule out.
Yeah.
Then when I kept coming, he would be there every day. Then I started seeing all the kids come back with trophies and stuff like that. So I'm how I get that? So I started competing. Once I started competing, they started taking me away. When they took me away, I'm y'all stay in a hotel. They take y'all at the Denny's and eat. If I after the fights,
yeah.
I gotta keep winning so I can keep being a part of this. It felt like a field trip.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just kept me in the sport, and I just fell in love with it.
So you mentioned they was taking y'all to get something to eat and traveling and all this stuff. Explain to people your neighborhood as far as is it impoverished neighborhoods, rough?
Yeah, but growing up, there's a lot of Caribbeans in Crown Heights. So it's Jamaicans, Jewish people, Haitians,
yeah,
and Trinidadians, and a lot of Caribbean areas. But growing up, I really never really been anywhere on a flight. My mom never really took me out to no restaurants. We didn't have it like that. It was a good month. It's maybe some takeout Chinese food at Popeyes, and once the EBT refund, get back all this money.
Yeah.
We go to the corner store. I get everybody in my neighborhood sandwiches and shit, and we just turn up and eat and be in a block. But as far as going to restaurants, I never experienced that. So with boxing, once I seen that, I really wanted to do it for that. But then, I figure out my talent. I'm talented in this, and then I started figuring out all that achievements that people could do in boxing. The first short-term goal of me was to go to Olympics. So that's when I pursued it.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said there's a lot of Caribbean people. They call you Africa. So why they call you Africa? Where'd that come from?
Crazy thing, they call me Africa, but I'm Haitian.
Okay.
But when I first came to the gym, the Coach Sosa,
yeah,
when I first came up there, it was a gym free to the kids in the public, free. So the kids would be flooded with a lot of kids. So I came up to him let me get some pads, and he what? He looked at me boy, his very kids in here I was oh, this guy mean. I just turned around and I heard somebody saying Africa, come back here. And he started showing me little moves, and then it just stuck with me.
Yeah. So everybody's call you Africa now. Now your siblings, how many siblings you got? Any siblings?
I got one little brother. He's 20 years old now. So
is he boxing?
He was, but I told him I told him I would set him out. He worked and stuff. He a manager. So I told him I'll take care of whatever responsibilities he got. Just focus on boxing. Obviously, once he make it, I need a cut of that money. But I just want him to focus. To have the better things in life, and not just be be a regular statistic or have to rely on me. So I try to put him in, give him an opportunity to put him in position. But he just said he didn't have love for the sport, and boxing is a dangerous sport. So I wouldn't want to see my little brother doing something and taking punches he don't got to take, and taking life out of his years, especially if he ain't trying to pursue something and perfect his craft. So yeah, so he stopped boxing, but he wanted to box. Because the first time he been in the boxing gym was with me. He was in camp down in D.C. with me and Bug, and I was getting ready for the Olympics. And he seen the whole training camp, and then he started boxing, but he stopped now.
Mm. So the Olympics, right? How was it like getting? What was your mindset? You know, getting ready for the Olympics. Like, how was that for you? And what made? Well, I'll tell you what made you decide that you want to do that.
I did the Olympic trials. You know, in America, when you make it to Olympic trials, that's like you're already like top of the crop. Like everybody that's in Olympic trials, you know, the amateurs like 9 times out of 10, most of the kids that's in the bracket in the Olympic trials, especially my weight, 141, like literally everybody at my weight class, probably like maybe like a few kids, but like it's so many kids that was in that bracket that's world champions right now in boxing or like top world champions. So like in the bracket in the Olympic trials, it was me, it was Boots, it was Gary Russell, it was Jermaine Ortiz, it was Abraham Nova, and it was a few other kids that really didn't, you know, take it any places far. But when you make it to Olympic trials, it's big because you got to win a whole tournament to even make it to that tournament. So it's like a selective few that can make it to the tournament. So I went to Olympic trials. I fell short in Olympic trials. I lost to Gary Russell, but the Olympic trials, I was having hand problems and no excuses. He was the better man because we fought again in Olympics and everybody know he beat me I feel like in a close fight. But I was like I made some Olympic trials, like the you know my amateur run is done, but it was a lady and a coach named Kay Karoma and Julie Goldsticker. Kay was telling her like, yo, he got talent, like send him to Russia, let him try to qualify for Haiti, like let him try to like, you know, go out there and see what he could do. He could make it to Olympics. Yeah. To me, I'm just like, I remember I fought the junior Golden Gloves. I fought the national Golden Gloves. I'm like, yo, I'm turning pro. Then they begging me to go out there. I'm like, bro, I don't want to go to Russia. Like, I'm like literally like, I'm freestyling, like getting ready for the tournament. I'm barely getting ready. I'm eating whatever I want. I'm still like having sex, just being like getting ready to turn pro. I go overseas. My first head is in my head. I'm thinking like, this is international. Like this is different. This ain't national. Like it's the best in the world. Like, yeah. I'm like, this shit different. Once I got out there, I started being all them countries, and I just made it to Olympics. I fought 7 days in a row. And I'm just like, nah, like, and then I just made it to Olympics, and then I didn't have that much time to take it in because it's like I qualified in June, and the Olympics was coming up like I want to say late July, August. So it was like I had to get right back into camp for Olympics. So it was kind of like just a big thing. Then I had to get right back into training for it. But being there, it was like crazy being in like the cafeteria, seeing Serena Williams and these basketball players going through the Olympic ceremony, meeting Floyd for the first time, like sitting down at dinner with him, talking about turning pro. Like it was just like that's when I started realizing like, damn, my life was changing. Yeah.
So at what age did you say I'm taking this sport serious?
I was 14. I want to say 14ish. And like I said, my gym, Cops and Kids, was a public gym for the kids. So they wouldn't pay for every kid. Like it was like a few superstars in the gym. It was like they had like Bruce Carrington, Christopher Colbert, people like that. And some of the kids had fathers that would bring them to the gym and like to pay for them to go to the nationals. And like maybe the gym would probably pay for like 1 or 2 kids to go to the national championships. But I was one of the kids that they didn't really believe in like that. So I wanted to make it to the nationals because I knew like for me to get to the next level in boxing, I got to be in these tournaments. So I said, you know what? I'm going to sell candy in the train. So I was 14. I was hustling, selling candy. And every weekend I'll sell candy and I would raise my money up. And it was a guy from Jersey. He was the owner of the gym that Shakur was training at. And he was like, yo, like you could pay for your flight. I'll like put you in the room with one of the kids. But I'm like, all right. So the night before I took the flight from Newark, Shakur was like, I'll stay with him in the gym because I had to be in the airport like 5 a.m. So I had nobody to take me. So Shakur was like, I'll sleep with him in the gym. So we was in the gym all night. We sparred, we talked boxing, and we went straight to the airport. Yeah. I get to the national championships. I beat everybody in the finals. They like, it's a kid from Team USA. And in the amateurs being on Team USA, you like an all-star, you feel me? So yeah. I beat the kid, and that's when I woke everybody eyes up like, yo, this guy just went up. This kid just went to the nationals by himself, no guardian, raised money on his own, and just beat like the #1 kid. I probably had like 20 fights. The kid probably had 100-something fights. He on Team USA. He got international experience, and I beat him. Then that's when like I woke up like people eyes in the sport like, oh, this kid got potential. Like that's when I knew like, all right, like I'm talented. Like I need to keep going.
Well, you only had 20 amateur fights?
At that time, I probably had like 18, 20 fights at that time. I was like 14 at the time, so I barely had any fights at the time.
Wow. So how many amateur fights you got now in total?
I don't even remember, bro. I knew I started racking them up. I probably left for probably like 90 something, 100. Yeah.
So what's the difference between? I know a lot of people say, the Olympics is a lot different than professional. Because you see a lot of people get robbed, and like you seen like Floyd get robbed, Shakur, these guys get robbed in the Olympics. So what makes it so difficult for a skilled fighter like them guys, and you see them lose in the Olympics? Why is that? You think?
I don't think a lot of fighters get robbed in the Olympics, but the Olympics is just different. It's like, because you got to realize in the Olympics, a lot of them guys that's winning gold medals and be competing in the Olympics, that's they glory story. Like, they be like 26. They be staying for like 2-3 Olympics to finally win one gold medal. In America, that's not our tradition. We are like, somebody stay for, if you make it to Olympics and stay for another Olympics, it's kind of like, that's weird to us. Like, we don't do that over here.
Go get the money now.
So like, they really, that's like they life, like all-time goal. They'll be there for 2-3 Olympics, like just trying to win a gold medal. So it's like, that's what they do. So I feel like that's like another big reason too.
So at the Olympics, you was like, I'm going pro. You made a decision to go pro at the Olympics?
Yeah, that was like my story. I seen every pro that I always looked up to, that was like their story. They go to Olympics and then they turn pro. So like, to me, it was like, all right, won nationals, cool. Make it to Olympics, got that experience. Next step is the world championship. Got that.
So do you remember getting ready for your first fight, your first professional fight? How was that for you?
It was like a comfortable feeling because in New York, the New York Golden Gloves, I won it twice, and that was like a big thing in New York. Like, if you know boxing, like the Golden Gloves in New York is like, it's fake like the Olympics. It's like a really big thing. So the finals for it the year before that was in the Barclays Center, and then my pro debut was also in the Barclays Center. So I was kind of used to fighting in that arena already. So it was like I fought a year before that in the arena, and I came right back and had my debut a few months later in the same arena. So it was like, all right, like it was a nervous feeling. Obviously, it's the pros. I had people like 50 Cent in my locker room. 50 walked me out. It was a little different pressure, but it was like still like, I don't know. I got through it, and it was a great night.
Yeah. So and then after that fight, just looking at from outside looking at your story and your road, which you're 19-7 now. I'm sorry, 19 wins, 7 knockouts, right?
Yes.
So you just won your first world title. Took from Paro, right?
Yep.
And for me, it seemed like it was a lot you had to go through to get that opportunity to get that title. How was that for you? Like going through that? Because I know you probably was like, damn. Did you ever feel like quitting? I'm like, man, this joint it ain't working out for me.
Nah, but it was really thoughts in my head where I was like, all right. I remember always looking up to like fighters like Floyd and Sugar Ray because it was one of the world titles at like Sugar Ray won his first world title at like 26.
Yeah.
And like Bernard Hopkins won his first world title like 28, 29, like a late age. And I remember like, damn, like I ain't gonna be one of them young world champions. So like maybe I'm gonna be world champion like at this age, and maybe I'll have to be in boxing longer and da da da. But then like I was looking at the fighters, I'm just like, damn, like all these fighters getting opportunities, and then once I seen Boots get his world title, because Boots was he's a decorated guy in the sport of boxing, and he got a world title. Me and him got a world title at the same age, so yeah. I'm in my head like, damn, like I ain't got a title yet, like I ain't got an opportunity, and but I was seeing all these guys fighting on TV, like Devin Haney, Teofimo, these guys is going through, they careers going up in like 2021, 2020, 2021. These guys is elevating. Shakur is having a world title. I'm just like, I know I'm just as talented as these guys, but I'm not getting opportunities, and I'm with Mayweather Promotions, but they on Tank coattail, like that's they guy, like they want Tank. That's their superstar, and they giving Rolly opportunities too, but I'm not getting no opportunities, and it's just like I'm calling. I'm like, what y'all got for me? We'll see. And I'm just like, yeah, I need to get out of here. So my manager's like, you get out that contract, I can get you to a world title in 2 years, and 2 years and 1 month I was fighting for a world title, and I became world champion.
Wow. So you with Floyd Mayweather. So what comes into you making a decision like I'm going to sign with this company or this promotional company or this person? How do you make that decision?
To be honest, none of the other companies wanted me at the time. Top Rank, Golden Boy. They wanted guys like Carlos Balderas and guys like Teofimo and Shakur and guys that was in the American Olympic team. You know what I'm saying? They really wasn't on me like that. So Floyd, they see potential. They was like, we could do something with you, so we'll sign you. And when I first started, it was giving me the fights. I was fighting in Barclays Center. I was beating I was being treated the way I wanted to be treated. So it was good, but once it got to like TV, when it was time for me to get on TV and start fighting, they got me the opportunity, but then it slowed down. And that's when I had to make the transition and like really start questioning my career. Like, all right, what's next? And then I started seeing it was real because my coach would be like, yo, we in the gym, because I'm a gym rat. So it was 1 year I had off for COVID, and then I fought, and I had another year off. So, but both of them years I was in the gym, but my coach would give me a call like, yo, like, what we doing is like, we got to start. You got to get a manager. Like, we don't want to just be in the gym just training. Like,
yeah. And
he pushed me to go talk to a manager, and then my manager, whatever my manager had set out for us, I was with it because I know if I win, he wins. So when he said, let's sign with Eddie Hearn now, that's what made me want to do that decision.
And how many promotional companies you been with so far?
2.
So Mayweather Promotions and now Eddie Hearn.
Yes.
All right. And now, fast forward. You get the fight with Paro for his belt. Mm-hmm. How excited was you when you knew you was going to get the opportunity to fight for that belt? Just knowing that you like, I got this fight. I'm about to.
To be honest, I really wasn't that excited because it was like the IBF rule. I never really wanted to fight for that belt.
Yeah.
And my performance before that, it was a close fight with a guy that I felt like I was supposed to run through. Mm-hmm. But it was because like I never fought for that belt, and it was like I had to lose like six pounds the night before the fight. So I'm just like, damn, if I go into a world title fight like that, like it could be drastic for me. But I also was being cheap, low key. Like I didn't have I had a nutritionist, but I ain't have them the whole camp. Yeah. I just paid him for like the day before the fight, but I ain't paid him to be with me the whole camp and monitor me and to have a plan. So my manager was like, we need, like, you 26, like, it's time. Like, you need to fight for the title now. Like, I'm just like, and it's like, if you don't fight for this title, they don't know what they're going to do with you. And when I got the phone call, it basically was like, all right, like, let's go into this fight. So I got ready. They said it was in Puerto Rico. I'm like, Puerto Rico? Like, and I'm just like, all right, it is what it is. So I knew he couldn't beat me, but it was just more of the weight and, like, how I'ma feel. But we did everything right, and you know, God had greater plans for me, and I came out victorious that night.
All right, so you go through all of the promotional companies where you're not getting the fight you want, not getting the notoriety that you want, you're not getting all the things that you've been looking for, and then you finally win the title. What was that feeling, man? Like how did that feel to win that title? What was the emotions going through your mind, like when they raised your hand in that fight?
I feel like I made it. I feel like I made it. That's how I should feel. I was like, oh my God, because I knew, like, it felt like, you ever felt like it's in boxing, you can literally get to like it's a hump in boxing. Like, even right now, it's still like a hump. The world title, like, obviously my name becomes more valuable in boxing.
Yeah.
But like in boxing, you can have 2 belts and lose a fight, and then they put you in another fight, and that fight could be the fight that could end your career. Like, unless you really made it to like Terrence Crawford, Canelo, like Tank Davis, like power level, you really like still your back could be against the wall. But in my situation, it was more like, I know if I had lost that fight, like I'd probably been fighting for like $50,000 somewhere, like maybe a TV fight, maybe they trying to build me up with a fighter that's trying to get to a world title. I'd have been like a stepping stone or something for somebody. I don't know where I would have been. And it was really like a survival type of situation, like, all jokes aside. Like, I'm not even trying to make my story sound better than what it is. It was like, it's my food is like,
wow,
it's dependent on it. Cause I know it was like nothing. It was over. Like, they would have just clipped me and just sent me about my business. So it was just like, I had to win that fight.
So that's a lot of pressure. Like, no, so you knowing that going into the fight, like, damn, if I lose this fight, I'm probably going to be, so that make you train even harder. Like, you like, I'm going.
Nah, it really wasn't even, it wasn't even about training harder. It was just like, I know what I could do. Like, I know I'm special. Yeah. And people were like, I feel like if people know boxing, the people that tell me boxing is, I don't look at them like, the people that tell me I'm special, I don't look at them like, oh, they trying to hate me. But I feel like, you know, boxing, like, I feel like I'm like going to be an all-time great. I just feel like people like they hype up the flashy things, the knockouts and the stuff like that, but they don't hype up the boxing craft like itself. Yeah. They hype up other fighters, but the performances, like, or how some fighter would showboat or look good or catch an explosive knockout, but they don't see 12-0 shutouts or the dominance or the craft. So I feel like with me, it's just more like I knew what it was. I was like, this guy's nowhere near my level. Like I know it was like fine. I'm like, this guy's gonna be like a novice fighter in front of me. And when I got in front of him, like he was not on my level. I mean, all kudos to him. He did what he did in boxing, but as far as like the shit I done been in front of, like he was nowhere near that level.
So what round did you know that? Like, do you know from the opening bell? What round did you kind of like know like, all right, it's over?
Third round and up. That's why my corner was saying like, yo, you got to pick it up. You got to pick it up. I was like, I already knew. I'm like, I just got to do this. And I knew it was over. Like, it was no surprise to me from the fourth round up. I won every round. Like, I was really surprised the first early rounds was that close. But it's more experience. Now I know as a professional, God could not be on your level, but you still got to take your time and you still got to know, like, with me, the strongest thing about me, I know how to make adjustments. I always been like that from my amateur, and my coach will always tell me that that's your biggest like weapon, and I never see it. Like he'd be like, you know how to make adjustments, and with me, I knew the adjustment I had to make. I don't need my team to tell me what I need to do. I'm always thinking every single round, so I already knew I had him in there, and it was just like that's what it was. Like you could tell it was a shutout.
Wow, and you've been in like a lot of camps, like a lot of training camps. Like I heard Gervonta talk about you, Shakur. You know, those guys who are, like you said, have a, you know, the light shine on them guys, and they speak highly of you, like, yeah, like Africa. So how was it been in those type of camps, like with Tank and Shakur and those guys like that? How was it to be in like those training camps with those guys?
Got the experience, you know, with Shakur. I kind of came up with Shakur, but Shakur was around the sport longer than me. You know, he been boxing since I started boxing at 12. Shakur's boxing at like 5.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of boxing experience, you know, and I started competing at like 13. So Shakur was already in nationals from like 8, 9 years old. So he had a lot more boxing experience than me. So with Shakur was more learning. Shakur, I learned a lot as far as technically. As far as Tank, it was more like I learned a lot as far as the pro game, how it goes, how a pro train for a fight, they lifestyle side of the ring, and seeing the do what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing. You know, and like it was just like even with being around Terrence Crawford, like seeing like being in front of him, testing my skills out. But the strongest like road it was for me was getting to believe in myself. Yeah. Then when I finally got to that point, now it's like, oh, he's arrogant, he talk a lot, but it's just I'm not like, I don't come at nobody personally as a man. I just feel like in the sport, like I'm better than you. Like if it's basketball, I'm gonna tell you I'm better than you. Beat me, like. It is what it is. I just feel like I'm better than a lot of people in this sport. I just feel like I'm great at what I do. So it was great being around them guys, you know, and still picking up and learning. I still talk to Shakur every day. We still pick each other brains. Yeah. I give him free game. He give me free game because it's like now, at first I was a student, but now it's like I'm becoming a teacher also. You know?
Yeah. Now, this fight with Kambosos, this fight is June 14th, like I said. What does a win for you like do for you? Like, what is this? Because you was talking to him crazy. Like you were telling him to his face some crazy stuff. So what does this fight do for you? Like a win over this guy Kambosos.
A win does for every other win. Take me to the next level.
Yeah.
Because people in boxing got to realize if I didn't win 2 fights before that, we would never been here talking about this fight. Yeah. You got to win every fight in boxing. Every fight is a must-win fight. If Bud didn't beat Errol Spence, he would never got that Canelo fight. And if he didn't beat Sean Porter, he would never got that Spence fight. So in boxing, you got to win every fight till you that guy. That's just what comes with the sport. So every fight is a must win for me. And people don't realize that. People always be like, this the one. Every fight the one. Because the one after this, it's the one too.
So now you got the title and you got the target on your back now. Really, like you really got a target. Before people probably was like looking past, I ain't fighting him because they probably felt like they would lose or like the risk and reward. So now you got a belt and people got to fight you. Yeah. And how does that feel now? Like to be on the other side. Like now you got to fight me now.
I think they still trying to avoid though the names that I want. You know, like the Devin Haneys and Teofimo, he was open to fighting me, but I just think now that the excuse is it's not a big enough fight or it's not he just got a belt or whatever. But like I said, I just believe I'm gonna get there. So it's like the guys that's looking to come get my spot, they could come get it, but it ain't gonna be easy. And that's just what it is. Like I got here for a reason, and I really embody and embrace me being a true champion. I'm not a guy that I was handed the belt. I didn't fight nobody easy for the belt. I didn't take an easy road to the belt. Like, I competed and I beat everybody in front of me. I take my craft very serious, so it's not like if I know what I'm capable of as far as in the boxing ring. So if a guy gonna come get it, it ain't gonna be easy. So it is what it is.
Now you got all this, notoriety. Now you're a champion. Your name is out there now. People are checking for you. How does it feel going back to your neighborhood where you was raised? Do you go there often? How is it like going back there? Do they treat you the same, or is it like how is it when you go back?
Nah, I mean, when I go back, it's just always like, oh, I'm so proud of you. Everybody like the man is like always happy. Like they just like, all right, like, yo, bro, like you really made it. Like, and where I'm from, like Crown Heights alone, I don't even think we even seen nobody make it as big as, where I'm from. Maybe Bed-Stuy, you had like Fab and like, I don't know where Fab from, but I think he's from the Star, like Biggie. But like as far as like Crown Heights, I really can't think of like too many people that made it out that neighborhood. People made it from the Floss. You got Pop Smoke that was from Canarsie and stuff like that. But like, I feel like I'm probably I'm probably like one of the main names that made it to like that level. And I always been son to me. I ain't never want to go back to my block or my hood and be like, oh, boy used to box, but he all right. Like, yeah, he boxed a little 1-2. Yo, boy was sound with Floyd too. You know that? Nah, it was like, nah, like boy is him. Like if any of these young kids about to get up and y'all want to box, don't come back if you ain't do what he did. You feel me? I ain't never want to be nothing regular, mediocre. You feel me? Exactly. Yeah.
So now, like you said, you go back to your hood. People like you made it. Now it's not like you, or you almost made it, but you made it. Is there anything that you do to give back to the hood now that you have moved away from the neighborhood, so forth and so on?
Last year I threw a block party for July 4th in my neighborhood, like so everybody in the hood could like, you feel me, get together, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And it was a success. It was dope. You feel me? It wasn't a block party. It was a backyard party. Okay. So obviously we sponsored everything, the liquor, the DJ, whatever, everybody in the neighborhood, just to have a good time and don't be no shootings or nobody getting into nothing crazy. And I do want to do that more often, and I want to get into more giving back into the kids, especially now that I'm champion. I want to get into like giving the kids back to school clothes and book bags and Christmas gifts and stuff like that. And, not even just for like, clout, just like giving back. Cause I know where I come from. I know like a book bag for me would have been like, oh, I'm lit. Like, so yeah, I want to do that now. And, I'm making it to a point where I do have to have, access to be able to do that.
Yeah. So what elementary school did you go to there in Brooklyn?
I went to PS 398. Yeah, and I went to Mahalia Jackson for middle school. And in high school, I went to Science Skills and Boys and Girls.
Did you graduate high school?
Yeah, I graduated high school.
That's what's up. So you went to school. How was it like going to school and then like boxing? How was that? Like, I'm pretty sure the fame, the neighborhood fame was, you going to school, everybody know who you was. How was that when you was in school?
I wasn't, like I said, I was never a guy like that was like boxing. Nobody was expecting for me to make it to where I was. I always knew it. Like, it was more like, nobody was thinking that when I was 16, 17, but it was like a guy in my neighborhood. He'll always see me run, and he'll be like, what he running for? And then, like, people on my block, they always, like, standing outside, especially if the weather's nice. So when I come back from the airport, they see a belt or a trophy, and they be like, nah, like, boy, really be winning. Like, then when I went to the Olympics, it was like, boy, going to the Olympics. Then when I signed with Floyd, that's when it was like I became, like, a superstar in, like, my neighborhood. Like, like, wow. Like, yeah, he's for real a boxer. Like, that's crazy.
So I'm going to ask you a question, because I know we just talked about that, but how was that conversation with Floyd when you signed with him? How was that conversation?
When he wanted Shakur. Like, he wanted Shakur. Floyd didn't really know my talent. Like, he didn't know, like, he knew I could fight, but he didn't know how good I was. Like, so it was more like Leonard Ellaby telling him, like, yo, he good. Like, let's sign him. Like, he got potential. Mm-hmm. He wanted Shakur. So when we was in Olympics, Shakur kind of, like, put me on, like, yo, like, Floyd want to take me to dinner. You want to pull up with me? And I'm like, Shakur always been, like, a real person. Like, he never been. One thing about Shakur, like, I know a lot of people out here that don't want to see other people win or don't want to give a helping hand. And it's like, Shakur is really, like, one of them people, like, it's free to be, like, helpful. Like, it don't cost nothing. Shakur, like, I got him in flowers. Like, even, like, he was like, sponsored by Powerade going to the Olympics. And he put me on, like, yo, come get me some money with me. I'm going to make you I'm going to pick you to do the commercial. I mean, we did a whole Powerade commercial. And that was before I even made it to Olympics. Like, he put me on to that. And like with Floyd, he was like, I'm gonna get you to meet Floyd, because I seen Floyd in the Olympics. I was like, yo, I want to sign with you. Like, what's your number? He gave me his contact, but when I sat down at dinner, we got more acquainted with each other. And then he still was on Shakur. And then I still was like, trying to see what other options I have. And then I was in Miami with Erickson Lubin. He seen me in front of Fontainebleau, and he was like screaming, like, that's my fighter right there. Like, that's my fighter. Like, and then he's like, come to Vegas next week. He flew me to Vegas. I was just training. I didn't box in front of him. I had sparred Rolly, and me and Rolly went at it in the gym. And he gave me the contract. We looked over. It was a simple contract, 4 year, like 4 fights a year. Signed it, and then after that, Tank was having a camp for Leo Santa Cruz, and it was during COVID, so Floyd was in the gym every day, so he would see all the fighters spar. So Tank would spar, everybody would spar, and that's the first time he really got to see me box. And nobody know the story. It's my first time ever seeing the story.
Wow.
So now I get in it. Now Tank, like, if you know TMT gym, it's like a ring like this. Like, he would get up on the ring and watch Tank spar. Yeah. So once Tank was done doing his rounds, he was sitting down, politicking. Everybody left around the ring. Like, I jumped in there. I got in the ring, started sparring. He jumped up. He got closer. Like, wait, what the fuck? Like, then he like, yo, like, he boxed just like this motherfucker look just like boxed just like me. Like, then I boxed mad rounds that day. Me and my coach was leaving the TMT gym. His security like, hey, yo, Floyd calling you. We stopped. He come into the car. He said, you want me to lie to you, tell you the truth? I said, tell me the truth. He said, you the best boxer in that gym. My coach like, Floyd, don't be lying to him, man. He's like, you think I will come over here to lie to another man? He the best fighter in that gym. I'm like, so I go back home. I'm on a flight home back that night. I tell my girl, like, Floyd said, I'm the best fighter in that gym. He called me. He texted me, I'm about to get off my jet. Like, I'm about to call you in 10 minutes. He called me. He gave me a speech like, yo, all the jewelry, all the things your friends have. Like, he was talking about like Tank, AB, because that's who I was hanging around. Like, he's like, all the stuff they got, you're gonna have all that. I promise you. He's like, you're special. Like, come back to Vegas next week. I go back to Vegas. He fly me in. It's like 2 in the afternoon. I'm calling him. He not answering. But Floyd, if you know Floyd stay up to like 8, 9 in the morning. So he's sleeping. I already knew he was asleep. So now I call Shakur. Shakur come get me from the airport. He take me to Jay Prince's house. Floyd wake up. He called me. He like, yo, my fault. You was at the airport. Like, where you at now? I'm like, I'm at Jay house. He like, yo, tell Jay I'm about to come over and pick you up. It's all right. He come over. Him and Jay play ping pong real quick. I get my stuff. I put it in Floyd car. We driving. He like, yo, I've been doing this my whole life. He said, you one of the best I've ever seen. He said, you will beat Errol Spence right now. I'm looking at him like, what? Like, this tweaking. Like, he like, you're gonna be world champion, guaranteed. I promise you, you're gonna be a world champion. This is like 3-4 years before I became world champion. He's like, you're gonna be world champion. He said, I'm telling you. He said, I'm telling you. I'm like, that right there, just like that confidence I told you I was always looking for. Yeah. Like, that sparked it. I'm like, he's not lying, because there's no way it's like he told me this like 3 times in a row. Like, he's literally trying to tell me like, bro, you different. Like, but I didn't believe it. Like, so now when I started getting in front of more and more people, it's like, nah, yeah, you different.
Wow,
yeah.
Wow, and nobody never heard that story before.
Yeah,
because I've been in the Mayweather gym. I actually spoke to Floyd, and Floyd's a real animated character. And I see what you're saying. Like, he pay attention to fighters. Like, he can spot talent. Now, looking at Floyd Mayweather's career, where do you put Floyd as far as fighters all time? Is he like in the top 5?
Floyd is the top number 1 man to ever put on a pair of gloves. As far as like what any parent, father, any body, and besides money, like, you would want a fighter to like be. As far as the moves he made, as far as he knew when to tone it down, his style, the money, the charisma, just everything. Like, Floyd, the numbers, the most accurate fighter of all time, the less fighter to get hit in his time. Like, if you're a father, why would you not want your son to go out there, be accomplished, get hit the least, and hit people the most, and have all his faculties? Floyd is 46. He can still come in the gym and still box right now. Fighters can't do that. It's not a lot of fighters that we see be able to do that. All time greats. You look at these fighters, they die by the time they 70. They can't talk right. There's very few fighters that left and got out with their money, and they faculties, and Floyd's one of them fighters that he was 3 steps ahead. Floyd would play boring for this fight and come back, and if he take it, he gonna dish it, and the fans is gonna be right back in his coattail. It is what it is. Like Floyd was one of them guys that I feel like he was the smartest to ever do it.
You ever seen Floyd spar?
Never. And I'd be mad at everybody else got to see him spar.
They say Floyd spar different.
I did. I seen him spar for like 1 minute with Thomas DeLome, the one that boots for it. I don't know. Yeah. He sparred for like 1 minute. He was making a miss. Thomas DeLome hit him, low blowed him, and then he just like stopped, and then they started massaging him. He was like, oh, and then they just like, got around, and the sparring was done.
Yeah. So now you see Floyd, and I'm pretty sure he was cool with Ellerby as well.
Yeah.
And you see that breakup after all these years. How do you feel about that being a part of that company, and now you see it like
I don't even know they break. How did they really stop talking?
No, I'm from what I'm hearing. I'm not sure, but speculation is that Ellerby is no longer with the Mayweather Promotions anymore.
Yeah.
And Ellerby and Floyd was like like this. You see them, they accomplished a lot together. So I don't know if it's true, but just to see that, it kind of was like to see something like that happen and see them no longer. If it's true that they're no longer together, that just makes me like, it's kind of heartbreaking to see that. Now. You're with Eddie Hearn, right?
Yeah.
How is it? How does it feel to be with Eddie Hearn? Eddie Hearn is, what's the difference? I'll say, what made you sign with Eddie Hearn? What was the thing that you heard, you saw that made you want to sign with Eddie?
When I signed with Eddie, it was like that was the big leagues. That's what it felt like. Being with Floyd, like my first few fights was in the Barkley, but it was like not in front of that much fans. It was like the early prelim fights. I fought on TV, but it was like. The arena was like people that was like a few hundred people could fit in the room. Like, you feel me? It was like little stuff. The minute I signed with Eddie, he put me like on the undercard, like in an arena. Mm-hmm. And then the next fight, he put me in an MSG. And the fight after that, my main event. And then like it was just like big fight after big fight. And then it's just like what was different was the structure. Yeah. I know how much I'm supposed to get paid this next fight. I know when I'm supposed to fight. That's every fighter like wants to know, like when they get out the ring, every fighter want to know like when they should be fighting again. And I was like, thanks to my manager and to obviously Eddie cooperating and giving us what we want and follow, like obeying the contract and being a man of his word. So I just think business has been cool. Business has been cool because as far as business, it's always as far as things that go left and everybody's not always on the same page, but everything's been going as planned. And that Eddie revived my career. He gave me the platform, and he gave me the opportunities that I needed to get where I'm at.
Shout out to Eddie Hearn. I met Eddie Hearn a few times. He's a real cool guy. Now, question I get asked all the time: before a fight, when do fighters get their check? When do you get your check for the fight? Is it like right before you go in the ring or after the fight is done? People keep asking me that. Like, when do the fighters get their check?
Before coming up, like before I was like. Before this type of money, it would be like after in the back. But now it's like they gotta wire it to you, so it takes like days and shit to get to you.
Oh, so you don't get that check like right before you get in the ring?
Nah, it's like a wire. Like they'll probably send you half, and then like have to wire another half. Like it's not like they
check
used
that
to.
Big, huh? It's a big check, man.
Yeah, it's not, it'd be like they don't like give it to you just like that. Not now, but maybe that's Eddie Hearn company. And maybe some fighters do get a check, but I know like. You don't get your check right there. Like it take a minute for like the money to all clear up. Yeah.
Expose your business to millions of potential consumers and clients. If no one knows who you are, you don't make any money. Put your logo here. Add your business here. They say when you're green, you grow, but when you're ripe, you're rotten. That means those who aren't moving forward is standing still. Marketing is everything. Grow your business today. Product placement, brand exposure, merchandise display. It's time to put your business and your brand in front of millions of potential clients. Call 267-534-5053. That's 267-534-5053. It's time to grow.
Everybody would say, get a check before the fight, after the fight. Yeah. So now, champion, of course the money is different now that you're a champion. What's the biggest purchase you made once you got, what's the biggest purchase you made since you've been boxing?
Just jewelry. Just buying watches, few chains, car, stuff like that. But I don't really I ain't stupid with my money, I don't but just buying things that I wanted through the years and so I could live my young life and be like, I was wearing this at that age. I was a champion of the world. I do want to like, show that I'm winning. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm from, especially the girls, they don't want to hear you winning. They want to see you winning. They don't want to hear you champion. They want to be like, he champion for sure. So, but like, it's just for me though too. Also, like, it's like this is stuff like I used to like get motivated when I see Tank pull up in that Wraith and that watch and that jewelry. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to be champion. Like, he just looked like he's something. Yeah. And I used to get motivated by that. So now I'm in position to do certain nice things for myself. That's what I do. But I ain't stupid with my money. I still got to be like, like boxing's not a sport that's like promising, even though I feel like I do have a promising future, but it's still like, still try to be smart, but still like work hard for it.
So you said you see Tank is, possibly top 1-2 fighters as far as generating, money. How was your relationship with Tank? How was it now? Like, you seeing him, you guys been around each other so much. How was it like, how was your relationship with Tank right now?
I mean, the relationship, it is what it is. I feel like things happen in life. And as long as I feel like I was always like, genuine and real and always been, I've always been a real nigga. Nobody that's like, somebody could ever say nothing real flaw about me. Like, he did something weird or whatever. So it's just, it is what it is. So, but
I seen Tank, man. I got the footage. It was a reporter that was talking about somehow it came up. He was like, "Yeah, Africa like that. He can fight."
Yeah,
he was saying.
Listen, like I said, I don't think we went through like no falling out. I wouldn't say.
Yeah. And I seen y'all sparring, like not sparring. He just came home, and y'all was like, I don't know if y'all was somewhere, and y'all was like not sparring, but y'all was like almost like playing like.
No, like this is what the word don't understand. Like, when Tank, people look at me like, oh, like if because me and Tank went at each other, or he went at me on Twitter. So people like, oh, you this and that, or like Tank did this for you, did that for you, and it's like, yeah, of course, like I give him his flowers. Like, yeah, you looked out for me, because when I'm from, a person give you $1 to go to the corner store and get chips, like you gotta look at them like a hero, because it's like people. I'm a grateful person. I know where I come from. So, but with Tank, it's like I always been a real friend to Tank. I couldn't give him financially, but as far as like helping him trying to stay on track, like, yo, let's be in the gym. Let's go to the gym. You in New York? Let's train with me, or like even I even looked out for Tank for his birthday and try to like give back in my my way, or like like when Tank was in jail, he would call my phone every day. Every single day, like every day, every three times a day. I thought I was a girl. You thought I was his girl or something. I'm like, you don't have nobody else to talk to, bro. Like 3 times a day, like no cap. But it's like, that's my bro. Like, you feel me? Like, but like that video you seen was when he first came back home. Like I drove up to Baltimore to see him and just support him, and shit like that. But I was talking to him every day. He was telling me about his stories in jail and like how, you feel me? But like, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I wish him the best, because at the end of the day, like, whatever we disagreeing about is boxing. Way further than bigger than boxing.
That's just a phone call. You might have to make that phone call, man. Like, whatever it is. Like, listen, man, you my guy. And, I'm pretty sure he'll answer.
Nah, yeah, we spoke. Yeah. We spoke recently, but it was like about some brief.
Now, Tank, he just fought Lamont Roach, and he's getting a lot of backlash. People saying his mental wasn't right for that fight. Saying there was a lot going on. His demeanor seemed off in that fight. What's your thoughts on that fight? From watching that fight, as just looking at it as an analyst, what's your thought on that fight?
Tank is a good friend of me, but we don't want to take away credit from Lamont Roach. He came in ready that day. And it is what it is. Tank knew what he was going to be in front of. Tank is not stupid. Tank been around the sport for a long time, so he know like when a person could fight, and it is what it is.
You think Tank get up for if it's a rematch? You think he get up for it more in a rematch? Or well, I'm saying I don't want to say he wasn't up for the fight. You think he really he really?
Yeah. Of course, you got to get up because his reputation on the line. His career not on the line, but his reputation. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tank don't want to lose.
Yeah.
Tank don't want to lose. Like I know for a fact. Like Tank, when it's time to work, that boy get focused, and he don't want to lose. And the most focused fight I ever seen Tank was Leo Santa Cruz. That was his first pay-per-view, his first real name. Like, the way he was focused for that fight. Like, if we get back to that type of Tank, like It'd still be a great fight because Lamont is talented and he gonna get up too. Like Lamont like is because I could tell Lamont got up for that fight, but we don't know how it'd be if Tank got up. But I do think he would work much harder. But I mean, we don't know. I just think he probably was a little bit more comfortable, being in DC for camp. I think he should have been away, but I don't know.
So being away make you a little uncomfortable in the fight. Like your mannerisms be a little different when you just away from like your family, away from your friends, away from your city. Do you feel different?
I ain't gonna lie. Well, Tank could be anywhere. He's so rich, he could bring the fun to wherever. So it's like I can't even tell you like if it's like if it make. I feel like he gonna be comfortable wherever place he go. Like he's still gonna. He could be in Colorado Springs. He gonna have 5 Rolls Royces outside.
He gonna have a ball, make it fun.
Yeah, he gonna make it fun. So I think DC though, he probably, I don't know. It's probably like shit going around there. So I just think like with him, like you gotta seclude him like as much as possible. Keep it like simple and that'll like keep him more on track.
Let me ask you a question too. It's another question I get, in the comments like about the ex boxers. Like you said, sex during training camp. Are you having sex during training camp, or is something you just like you're not doing it? You cutting it. You just like I'm not doing nothing.
I have sex during camp, but I stopped.
Does it affect you though?
Nah.
I'm saying like I'm talking about a week out from the fight. Is it?
Nah, I don't do that because I be losing weight, so I don't want to like feel weak, like make myself extra weak. And I don't know if it is gonna make me extra weak, but like the week out, like nah, I don't want to do that. But like. I don't think that joint really affect you. I ain't gonna lie. Like there's no way you about to tell me I'm running up mountains, sparring billion rounds, doing my push-ups, eating vitamins, and I'm busting nothing. Y'all tell me this is why I lost the fight. That's an excuse. That's crazy to me. Like there's no way.
They be saying like, cause if you ain't getting, they're like, damn, you cock these, like like go get like.
Yeah.
They'll tell you like because a coach was saying like they'll tell a fighter, yo, go handle that, man. I remember they was talking about. In DC, talking about Broner, he stayed on Adrian Broner stayed on Pornhub the whole camp.
That's his body. Hey, be crazy. That's one of the lacest boxers I've ever seen. He's crazy. He like being in camp with him. Like, oh man, yeah, he's crazy.
Adrian Broner, wow! Shout out to AB.
Facts.
Now, you're in a position now to provide for your family. Change everything for your family, in this position that you had the belt, you're making more money. What's your plans for your family? Like, your mom, your brother. I hear you mention your father. Your father, how's your father doing?
He's good. Okay. Me and him, we building back our relationship.
Okay.
And just like as far as like my family, I just don't want them to like need for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like my talent is like the way I work. It's not even my talent because I bust my ass. Like my photographer is the only person that see me day in and day out. Like I stay working. Like especially like when I'm like locked in for a fight. Like I believe I'm one of the hardest workers in the sport. Like I don't play like it ain't a workout I'm shining out from. It ain't nothing. Like I'm willing to like go all the way. So it's like I feel like with my hard work and my talent, like I want to put my family in a position to where like they don't gotta worry about nothing. I experienced some nice things in life, especially being around like rich friends and shit like that, being around Floyd and et cetera, et cetera. Like I seen like the lavish things in life and me getting to where I'm at now. Like I know what it's like to sleep in the nicest hotels and drive the nice cars and have the nice clothes on and stuff like that. So I want to make my brother and my mother and just whatever my kids' family, just make them comfortable and show them like, no, this is all me. But like we doing it, we making it happen. I feel like in life, bro, you plant your own seeds. Yeah. This work, I'm going in unvain. I don't go how nervous I am. I don't care what it is. I'm in the gym every day. I'm busting my ass. When it's time to go out there and fight, it becomes second nature because I put in the work. So it's like I'm in the gym. I'm staying around the craft. I'm perfecting it. So I think that I'm gonna be able to give my family the better things in life.
Another thing too, they say about boxers when y'all getting them M's and all that the shopping sprees change. Like they said Floyd be like shopping crazy. Like how was like it's described like a day in the life of like a band around like a boxer. That's
like me or like a lit boxer.
And you lit.
Huh?
You lit.
I know I'm lit, but like,
But I'm saying,
nah, like a OD like that made it.
Yeah,
big leagues.
yeah.
Like me, I ain't gonna lie. Even me now, like shopping days be changing now. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be like, yo, what the like, like definitely like I'll be like, it just be like, what the like in my head I'll be like, yo, like this would have been like crazy a few years ago, but like Tank, I done seen Tank come in, spend like $17,000 on just vintage T-shirts, go to another store, get like $40-something thousand worth of clothes, go out to eat, go to the club, and then jump on a jet, get off, go to Miami, spend $10,000 at booby trap, go shopping again. And that's just what I see. I don't know what drivers and securities is getting paid. I don't know. I didn't see it. Like I didn't see Floyd spend buku amount of money, especially when he's like had that Showtime contract.
Yeah,
taking girls on $80,000 shopping sprees. First time he met them, like I want you, come shopping.
Ladies and gentlemen, that boxing money is real.
Nah, that's like one in a million type of bag. Like you need to like got that pay per view, but yeah, the boxing money definitely different. Like you see like guys like Devin Haney on like flexing and making that
That money, yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to Devin Haney as well. Devin Haney, that's a potential fight for you sometime down the line.
Haney's Devin Haney.
That's a potential opportunity for you at some point. You know, Dev is, you know, somebody who has a name. I think they were saying he's supposed to fight, you know, Teofimo, but they're saying it's not gonna happen now. It's like canceled now or something like that. But he's a potential fight that I think you called him out before as well too.
Numerous times.
Yeah, and
calling somebody out, I'm supposed to call him out. He's the big name. So that shit don't.
Yeah.
That don't mean like I'm like that. I'm just.
What you think? You seen Ryan lose? Ryan just lost. What do you think about Ryan Garcia coming back, losing that fight?
I don't think nothing. I think, like I said, the real world prevail in this shit.
Yeah.
It's all noise. It's just like music. You got artists that come out make it be lit for a few years, and you got artists like Drake and Kanye and really good at what they craft. Ryan ain't nobody that's like
his skill set not. You don't think
you don't look at Ryan and be like,
but
damn, this is boxing.
So the victory over Devin Haney, you think that was they were just saying that he just couldn't get off the line of the left hook, or do you think he was ready, prepared for that fight?
Ryan was hitting with more than just a left hook. He got hit with uppercuts, right hands, all type.
Yeah, he did.
But
it was an off night probably for him, you know.
It was an off night, man. He just fought somebody that was young, fast, and Devin just they ain't no more adjustments to make. Ain't no off night.
Now you're in the mix with all these fighters. You got all this, you know, you're right there. You're right there. So you got the fight with Kambosos coming up. But you're, like I said, you're right there in the mix. Like you can get the Teofimos, you can get the Devin Haney. Because like Eddie Hearn is what basically tied in with Ali Sheik, right?
Yeah.
So all those fights is easy to make, and the money is there.
Facts. Shout out to Turkey.
Don't
leave boxing.
Turkey spinning that chicken.
Don't leave boxing before me and you get to the table, brother, man. Don't save some of that money for me.
So yeah, like how do you feel you seeing him spending? He just throwing the money out there to people, like, and you just look at your chompers waiting for opportunity to get it at the table to talk about that, you know, which could be right after this fight with Kambosos.
To be honest, I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking for that opportunity. I'm working towards it, but I'm not focused on Kambosos. I'm not focused on Devin Haney. I'm focused on bettering my craft. You can't look at the money. You can't look at just your opponent. You gotta look at being just the best boxer you could possibly be, and that's like every day what I wake up to do. It's not about like, because I don't know what Kambosos' game plan is. I don't know if he's looking to go to the body, throw the overhand right, feint, jump, move. I just gotta know. I know what to do in a boxing ring. So
when you hear that, like you don't know, it just make you. It seems like you like ready to get up and start training to get hit in the heavy bag or something. So that motivates you. Like you don't know what he's doing, but you know you gotta be working hard. You gotta be ready.
I just gotta know how to perfect my craft.
Yeah.
It's just like I just gotta, as far as like I gotta be like a person that whatever tool I need, I'm able to do it. If I need to throw a lot of punches, if I need to be able to move, if I need to be able to come forward, if I need to be able to do this, I know I've been working on my craft and I have the mind to make that adjustment on the fly. You know what I'm saying? And with me it's all about just being at my best physical shape. So, you know, I feel like I'm one of the best fighters in the sport of boxing. I feel like I'm one of the hardest fighters to hit in boxing. You know, I don't really take any punishments in fights, and so yeah, just about getting better.
Not saying no names, but how would you feel like if the money is right? And a lot of fighters just don't want to fight like they friends. If the money is right, would you like, listen, let's get this money. We just gonna fight to get this money. How do you feel about that?
I had a conversation. If that money is different, I'm fighting my mother. I told friends that it don't matter what.
Right, we got to get it in, cause people like man, I ain't fighting my friend, man.
Nah, but I'm joking. I'm gonna fight my mom.
Yeah, I know that. We know you're joking. We know that's a joke.
But as far as like friends, I get it. You know, because now when I'm, like I said, I'm getting older and more mature in the sport. Boxing is not a game you play with. You don't want to have to punish your friend. Like, boxing take years out of your life. It's not just you losing a boxing fight. That fucks individuals up. So, and you don't want to have to do that to a friend. You know, so I feel like I do get that. But then again, it's like, you a fighter, and it's like, how many opportunities we going to have to make this type of money? We're not going to be young forever. We're not going to be hot forever. So
if you fight your friend, right, and you know, you beat your friend up, because you're in the ring, you got to, it's like, you know, kill or be killed, like they say.
Right.
After the fight, the relationship ain't going to be the same?
Never be the same.
Especially if you probably knock him out or something, stop him.
Punish him, like, it'll never be the same. It'll never be the same. A boxing fight is personal. It's personal. That is not like, it's not no game. You hitting a man in there, like, you see blood, you see a person winking, you can see a shot bothering him. It's not a game. Like, boxing is very dangerous. And if you're not a professional, if you don't know your craft, like, you will get hurt in there. Yeah. And this is why they have doctors ringside. This is why they have coaches, and you have people in the corner that love you, because it's a serious sport. I
heard you mention, like, we was over there training, you was like, even if you get hit by blocking the shot, you still feel it.
Right. Depending on how big the person's power is. You feel me? So, boxing, you don't play with boxing. It's serious. And I never noticed how serious it's good, because I've always been really good at boxing from, like, since I could remember.
Yeah.
But, like, the more I'm becoming a professional, this is becoming, like, my profession. This is how I'm putting money on the table. This is how I'm, you know, setting out my lifestyle and what I want for my life in the long term. It's like, you gotta, like, can't take boxing serious, from your body to your physical, and to this, like, fighters get hurt, fighters get knocked out, fighters lose orbital bones, fighters die in the ring, and it's because it's not a game. So I feel like doing that to a friend is like, it'll never be the same, especially if you f somebody up. It's like, fucked up.
They'd be like, you might shake your hand to the fight, but be like, man, yeah,
you doing that to in front of the world. It's crazy.
Now, let me ask you a question. You know, I know you pressed for time, I won't hold you too long, but you said you're a close friend with Shakur, and what makes Shakur so great? As far as what makes him, like, when you see Shakur training, fighting, you know, what makes him so great inside the ring?
What makes Shakur so great is his instincts. He has intuitiveness. He have intuitiveness. He know, like, he can damn near, like, feel when a person gonna punch. He can anticipate, and that's a natural thing on his behalf. But on the mental, he has attention for detail. Very, like, pays attention to how you eat, how you wrap your hands this fight compared to the last 3 fights, how you this, that, the arm reach. He pays attention to every single detail. What you eating, what the opponent is sparring, this, that, like, just what they like he pay attention so much, like, it's just, like, sickening. Like, he really knows the sport. Like, Shakur could pick out what sparring partner needs to go first and who could go second, like, just by their style, or this, that. Like, I'm gonna do this person first, or this person, I'm gonna do him second. Like, you gotta know things like that in the sport of boxing. You could a guy could be better with more power, but you could put that guy in the back end, and a guy could be less power, less better, but he's super aggressive. But you could be sparring the guy with power, he could be a guy that's going to think in there with you. But the guy that's aggressive and much worse, he come and put in that pressure. So you put him in the back end, when you're tired, you're liable to take more punishment. And in boxing, you want to take as less punishment as possible. So even a motherfucker worse, a motherfucker still going to take 8 to give you 1. So you want to put him first, get him out the way, and I'm gonna think with you, because you a thinker. So we gonna slow this down. But you gotta know like that. Shakur's one of the people like he know the sport, like he really know the sport. So I think that's what makes him like advanced. He just pay attention to detail. His IQ is like steady growing, and I think that it always been like that since we kids. And when I pick his brain and we talk, it's like, damn, you really paying attention to that, like. Yeah. Like it's just people. Some people have minds in certain things they do where it's just like some like Einstein type shit, like real shit. Like it's just different.
Wow. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. You have any kids yet?
Nah, not yet.
Not yet. When you planning on having some kids soon, or you gonna wait until you done?
Yeah, I'm gonna have kids in the next few years. Definitely, probably before I'm 30. But my lifestyle, bro, like these girls, it's
scary because the target on your back too. Because you got to face. You know what I mean? You already basically in a position where as though you can provide for yourself, take yourself. You know, I don't know if you had anybody that's coming up with you while you know, on your uphill climb is being successful, but you gotta be very careful and selective with these women out here, man.
Yeah, it's tough, and I ain't gonna lie, I love bad. And even like for real, like it's just like real shit. So like every girl I've been in a relationship with is like I always try to find somebody like genuine and like, you know, real, and somebody that, I mean, I know I want to give you nice things and shit, but it's like I gotta know, like, you come on, like you gotta, like, I gotta know you, like your everyday lifestyle can't be like every week you need Chanel, you need $800 for your hair, like it can't be that. Or like if I could provide that, as lit, but I gotta see somebody and know that's not what they like, that's not what they used to, because ain't nobody gonna go from what they used to and bring themselves down just from knowing somebody a few couple years. Like they're gonna sneak out and do some shit, like, because that's what they used to. Yeah. So,
at when do you think you, like, at what age do you want to probably be done boxing? Like what age did you say I might want to be retired by the time then, and you know I may have accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish? What age you see yourself possibly being
maybe
done?
38, 37, 38. Yeah. I think I have that longevity in me, but boxing is all about the punishment you take, you know. And I'm getting older now, so I'm in my prime, the prime of my career. But this is where I got to be smarter. I can't like be in a gym sparring on off season 10, 12 rounds anymore. I got to preserve my body, preserve my mind. I can't, you know, do certain things the same way, because like I said, if I want that longevity, I need to treat my body and treat my craft. I need to approach it a little different now. And I think that it's more about preserving myself now. So I think that I want to stop at 38, but I'm going to take a break in between that. But I want to stop at maybe 38. I think it'll be a good time to stop.
How many fights per year you think is good? Is a good number to fight?
Depending on how many knockouts. I think two is good on paper, but if you catch a 4th round knockout, 2nd round knockout, I think you go 3.
Three fights.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to say to the people out here in the world, people that you know that follow you, support you, see your story? Because like I said, your story to me, I felt like you was just going through so much to get a title fight. What message you want to give to the people out there that's kind of like watching you, like seeing your uphill success and everything that you're doing?
I just want to tell everybody out there, believe in yourself. You feel me? Like, believe in yourself, believe in your talent, know your worth, know what you're capable of. When they look down at you, when you come through and they don't say your name or they don't know who you is, embrace it. Because when you know who you is and where you're going, that shit could change at any given moment. And just is a lot more out there in the world than where you from. It don't matter what ghetto you from, Philly, Brooklyn, Maryland, whatever. Like, it's a lot more out there. It's a lot more beautiful waters, beaches, like this, that. It's so much out there than just what you're around. So I feel like a lot of people get around, see what they're around, and just get comfortable with that. And it's just like so much. And I feel like being around like Tank and AB and Floyd, really, like, it was one thing to see it on TV, but being around it was just like obtainable. So it made me go that much harder. So I'm just, just want everybody in the world just keep watching my story. I think that this is the beginning of something special. I think the world will have to get familiar with me, because when it comes to boxing, I think that I'm one of the best in this craft. So I think that the world just gonna have to just keep watching, paying attention, and everything I'm saying one day, people gonna go backtrack and be like, this guy did say this. Yeah.
One more question. Give me your top 5 current fighters right now first, and then you can exclude stuff, but your top 5 fighters right now, and then we're gonna get your top 5 fighters all time.
Top 5 fighters right now. I like Terrence Crawford.
Mm-hmm. No order?
No order. I like Terrence Crawford. I like Shakur Stevenson. I like Bivol. I like I gotta think. Right, weight class. I like Canelo. Definitely love Canelo. And Boots.
And top 5 all time.
Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, Pernell Whitaker, Tyson Fury, and top 5. Oh, Mike McCullum. R.I.P. to Mike McCullum. Yeah, that just died a few days ago.
Now, one more thing before we go. I want to speak about, you're from New York. New York has like a lot of fighters in New York. So, who's the top 5 fighters in New York right now? Talk about not you included, but that you top 5 fighters right now from New York that you can be like, all right, he nice.
Edgar Berlanga, Bruce Carrington, Jihad Tucker. Fighters from New York right now. I gotta think of the pros that's in the gym right now. Oh, Harley Monderos. New York fighters. Bro, I'm trying to think. Yo, it's not that much New York fighters right now. Yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Marcus Brown.
Okay, Marcus Brown.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, where can people follow you at on Instagram, the YouTube? We're trying to do what we can do to get things rolling. So where can people find you at on YouTube?
Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at Richardson Hitchins. On Twitter, he is Richardson. YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube page, Richardson Hitchins TV. And June 14th, I don't know if this interview gonna come out before that, but
we better believe it.
June 14th, make sure y'all tune in live on DAZN. If you can't make it in the New York area, it's gonna be on DAZN. And if you're in the New York area, June 14th, Madison Square Garden is the place to be. Richardson Hitchins versus George Kambosos, massive fight for the world championship. We bringing big time boxing back to New York City. Let's get it.
Let's get it. You heard it here first. It's TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. We're here live.
Expose your business to millions of potential consumers and clients. If no one knows who you are, you don't make any money. Put your logo here. Add your business here. They say when you're green, you grow, but when you're ripe, you're rotten. That means those who aren't moving forward is standing still. Marketing is everything. Grow your business today. Product placement, brand exposure, merchandise display. It's time to put your business and your brand in front of millions of potential clients. Call 267-534-5053. That's 267-534-5053. It's time to grow.